Hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom. Today we're doing some on-air coaching. This is something that I offer exclusively to our students within our 12-month program, Activate. If you want to learn more about Activate and how we can work together over the next 12 months to grow and scale your business, just go to rachelngom.com/activate to apply. And today we've got Patek on. What's going on, Patek? How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Rachel?
Good. So let's start off. Just tell us quickly, what is your business? Who do you help?
I help women with orgasmus. It's one of the sexual dysfunctions, overcome their conditions so that they can have pain-free penetration and feel much more confident in their lives. That's what I do.
Okay. So what can we talk about today? What would make this call and our time together a big win for you?
I have difficulties to launch a group program. Whenever I actually launched for 2 times. Nobody enrolled in the program, and I was getting also some feedback about like they're not feeling comfortable to be visible, to be in the group. They would prefer to be much more they would prefer to have much more private sessions with me rather than being in a group program. But when I think about my goal, annual goal for my earning, then I have difficulties to arrange it because I don't know how I can organize them, because the group program was so much easier to reach to this goal. But right now, when I consider with private sessions, I have difficulty to organize. To organize it. How am I going to make this money?
So what you do, for people that don't know, it's basically helping women with vaginismus. Did I say that right? By now, I think I got it. So it's something that's very intimate. It's a very intimate condition that you're helping them with. So it's understandable that some of them would not be comfortable in a group setting, and that they would want to be working with you one-on-one. So like, I understand that. As you grow and you have more people that you're working with, will there be some that feel comfortable in a group setting? Maybe. I don't know. So maybe right now you just don't have a big enough audience for people. That I couldn't tell you. It's just one of those things, like maybe you launch it again and you test, and then maybe you offer a group program and private, and you just see like which one stands out. But in order for you to scale, we need to think, okay, we could do one of two things if we're not doing group, because you only have so much of your private time. You can raise your prices, or you can hire somebody and train them to do what you do. And eventually that's kind of the way that you want to go, and you'll be like the face of the company, the face of your brand, and you have people that are on your team that are doing what you do.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay.
Because I know we talked about you partnering with like OBGYNs at some point. And so you could be the one that's, crushing the marketing and doing everything that we're teaching with an Activate, and you're building the brand. And you have OBGYNs on your team that are doing what you do. So I'll give an example. I have one of our past Activate students, actually. She's a lactation consultant, and her business has grown so much since we started working together that she's hired other lactation consultants on her team. And so she created the brand. She's crushing the marketing, doing what we teach with an Activate. So keep up with everything that, you're learning, right? And because she's gotten so much business, in order for her to grow her company, she doesn't have enough private time to do private sessions. So she hired other lactation consultants to be able to do those private sessions. And so she's the one that is the CEO. She's the one that's in charge. So I want you to really step into that CEO role and think, all right, in order to grow this company, who do we need on our team?
Okay. Wow.
You see? I know, it's like putting on those big girl pants and being like, it's time to step it up.
Okay. I need to think about it. All right. Yeah. It sounds
exciting.
Good. Okay. Yeah, it is. All right. Okay. So All right. My next question
Mhm.
is I'm using Pinterest right now, and I'm gonna hire someone for this
Awesome.
to get help
Great.
because my traffic is not high. Yeah, I need help on this,
Mhm.
and I'm using only Pinterest. I'm writing blogs
Mhm.
weekly,
Mhm.
and I'm not using any other channel. I have a Facebook group, but I'm not uploading my YouTube my videos to YouTube, for instance.
Mhm.
I'm not hosting a podcast or such those things. I'm just focused. I only focused on Facebook group and Pinterest.
Which is good. I'm
Should I?
happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy because you're still pretty new at this. And so once you have a really good handle on the content that you're creating
Hmm.
and the Facebook group, like you're like, I'm like, I have this a well-oiled machine. I have extra space in my calendar now, and I think I can take what I have and repurpose it and put
Hmm.
it on another platform, or I can hire someone on my team
Hmm.
that can repurpose it. Because you've seen everything that me and Lizzie have put together, kind of showing what she does as a social media manager. So we created those process street documents for you to take, and either you do it or you hire a social media manager who can take over and do it. Hold
Hmm.
on one
Okay.
second. Yes, Betty. I don't have any questions for her. Great job, Betty. He just finished his assessment. Hey, this is virtual school life. Okay. Um, so you could hire a social media manager.
Okay.
And with the way the economy is right now, like you can find someone good, really good, or you could even hire an intern, like someone at a local college. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that you could do. And it might just be like 5 to 10 hours a week that you hire somebody.
But social manager in general, or just Pinterest, for instance, you're
It's up
talking
to
about?
you. It's up to you. So
Mm.
you have someone doing Pinterest. Lizzie does everything social media except Pinterest. So she does our
Mhm.
YouTube, she does our podcast, she does Instagram, she does Facebook, she does
Wow.
creating events, she creates our graphics, she uploads our show notes to the blog. She does a lot.
Yeah.
And
Wow. Okay.
so everything that she does, you have it documented. So you don't need to find someone who's like an expert right now. You just need to find someone that's hungry and that's teachable and that you can
Mhm.
mentor, and you can like we literally have those documents for you to just take it, share it with that person and walk through it with them, make sure they have the hang of it. And now Lizzie, like she's been with us for over 2 years. She's just like, she's so independent. Like we don't have a lot of check-ins or anything. She's just like rocking and rolling.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yay.
And Rachel. Okay, so how can I, maybe this is, I don't know, not that much good question, but I want to learn,
Yeah.
I want to get the answer.
There's no silly question.
Okay. So how am I gonna be shown on the first page in Google, for instance? What should I do? Which steps that I need to take? Should I
So
just hire a social manager? So like yeah. Should I hire someone for this, or is there anything that I can do also personally?
So we teach you SEO within Activate.
Yeah.
Have you gone through any of those modules yet? They're towards the beginning. I forget exactly which one. It's probably module 3 on creating content, where we
Yeah.
teach you, so we teach you search engine optimization. I would
Yeah.
go back through that module, rewatch it, because I know if you're not used to SEO, then it's a little complicated. So I might watch that again. And
Okay.
you can hire someone to do your SEO for you. I don't think it's necessary if you do what we teach within the program and you're creating content with SEO in mind. And so we're not just creating a blog post because we want to talk about the subject. It's really strategic of we're going to first look at the keywords that we want to
Yeah.
rank for. That's the first thing we do. Then we
Yeah.
create a title that's really going to grab people's attention. Then we create the content based off of those things. And so if you do that on a consistent basis, you'll definitely have a high chance of showing up towards the top, especially with your niche, because it's a really good niche. So there's probably not a ton of content out there on it that you have to compete with, which is great.
Yeah, but like it's been 1 year or a little bit less than 1 year that I'm creating content every week, and I'm
With
using
SEO in mind.
SEO. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I cannot see me on the first page in Google, for instance. Maybe something is missing. Maybe I should just, I don't know, reach it. I actually watched this module. Yeah, maybe I need to hire some. I don't
You
know.
can hire somebody. What I would also do is show up on the next WordPress clinic
Okay.
that Stephanie hosts, because she's
Okay.
obviously crushing it. And she's such a great expert at WordPress. And so I would do that. And then our next coaching call is actually going to be tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we can look at like behind the scenes of what's going on in your website too.
Okay. Ah, it would be lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I am organizing, I'm going to host another webinar this Saturday. It's going to be my
Yay.
fourth webinar. So
Amazing.
I'm really feeling comfortable with this now.
Good.
Uh, and the member in my Facebook group increased to 438. I
Look
started
at you
when I,
go. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
yeah, it's really awesome. Actually, when I started to activate, it was 16 or something, and
Yeah.
now it's really growing. I'm so happy.
Yay.
Uh, but in your journey, like more than 11,000 people in your Facebook group.
Yep.
So when did it really skyrocket? Is that correct? Am I saying
Every
like,
time we do a challenge, so whenever we do a 5-day challenge, that's specifically we have people join that Facebook group. That's when we always get like thousands of people request to join. And that's always when we have the most engagement. So we
wow, okay.
haven't done a challenge since January.
Yeah.
I haven't done one since Gabrielle was born because my main focus has been on her, and TJ with being home and everything. So we'll probably do another challenge coming up sometime, probably early in the new year. We're going to do a lot of webinars. So the Facebook group has not been like a main focus of mine, but
Hmm.
like in particular. I mean, there's so many things you could focus on in your business. You don't have to do all of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when I'm intentional about the Facebook group, it's we're running a challenge every quarter. Ideally, we're running a challenge. We could get into a groove in our business where we're doing a new challenge every month. Like that's a possibility when we have the team in place and we have like the content creation and I have the bandwidth to do it. That'll probably be once we have an evergreen webinar for Activate that's up and running. So that's like our main focus right now. So you want to have blinders on and you're like, this is my one thing that I'm focused on and I'm going to do this until it's completed and it's working really well. Then you move on to the next thing. And so like webinar is your focus. This is the webinar that I want to work really hard on this and then I can get it evergreen. That's like your main thing, blinders on. And we're not worried about Facebook group. We're not worried about other things. And so it's like, what is your one solitary focus, blinders on, that you're going to be working towards? And other things, like one of my mentors, she says, like, we're going to let that bleed right now. And so it's basically like, that's not going to be a focus. It's going to bleed. Right.
Yeah.
And so, because you can't do everything well all at the same time.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
things, when you're focused on one thing, another thing is going to suffer. And that's okay.
When do you feel like you need help then, like on YouTube and on other platforms, you know?
When you have the funds that you're ready to invest into growing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what I did was I was doing private coaching and everything that I was taking, like I paid myself a very small salary when I first started this business. It was like enough to live on and it was rice and beans, basically. Like we're going to live so cheaply so I can take this money and reinvest it into growing the business. Okay.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
it's just looking at what is your main focus right now? What area could you invest in? So for you, if you're looking to scale your webinar, maybe you look into investing in Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
could be like the next thing that you look at.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. Rather than focusing on creating a challenge and trying to understand the how to do it and creating a content for it, just focusing on
Your webinar,
webinar.
and running Facebook ads to the webinar.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay, okay,
Yep.
okay.
I like it.
All right. And okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I have a question about this inclusive language, but
We can
um
talk about it. I think this is an important topic if you want to talk about it here.
yeah. Okay. So basically I'm helping women with this condition, but I got a feedback from someone that I was not using inclusive language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I actually don't feel so I don't feel so comfortable with inclusive language because I don't know this is why I don't know also I don't have any transgender friend, for instance. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that I'm excluding like purposefully, but I just because I don't know how they're experiencing this condition, that's
Right.
why I think that I might not help them. So I'm narrowing my niche down
Yep.
and saying women.
Yep.
And I actually corrected my language, but I didn't feel so comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Either it's because of I don't have any experience
Yeah.
with communication um, with a transgender, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Either it's because of that or something else, I don't know, but I just didn't feel so comfortable with it.
Right.
And I just wanted to ask you, should I expand my target audience a little bit or really be very specific and not use this inclusive language? I don't know. Yeah.
Based off of what you just said, I would be very specific. You have not worked with transgender people, and that's not who you're focused on helping. You're focused on helping women.
Yeah, but actually, if I get to know um, any transgender person, for instance, maybe I can help them too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe I shouldn't exclude like this, but just because I don't know, uh, I'm using a little bit maybe exclusive language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was a little bit hard for me to decide if I should have
You're
corrected
gonna,
my.
the more the more your business grows and the more you put yourself out there, the more feedback you're going to get from people. And feedback is neutral, right? So to you, did that feel negative when they said you're not using inclusive language?
I felt, oh yeah, I'm really not excluding you purposefully, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know you. That was my
So,
reaction.
which is fine. So maybe as you are growing, you could let that person know this is our focus because I don't know anyone yet that I've been able to help and support with this condition yet. Am I
Yeah,
open to learning more? Yes.
yeah.
And so if you have someone that has this condition that I could talk to and potentially help, I am open to helping them.
Okay.
And so
So
just
yeah,
leave it at that. I wouldn't put too much thought or focus on this at this point. I would just let them know exactly what I just said. Where are you going, buddy? You finished? Are you going to play soccer? Okay. All right. I'll be done in like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. All right. So that's exactly what I would do.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then as you help people with that are transgender with a condition, that could be happening in the future, right? And so
Yeah.
then you'll be able to use more inclusive language. But I don't like if you don't have that experience actually helping them, I feel like you definitely need to focus on only women,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe just hop on a call, discovery call, and see how I feel about it.
Totally. Just like you're
And if I
open
can
and let
help.
them like I'm open to help everybody with their experience with this particular condition. And so if you want to jump on a call and I can see how I can support you, I'm open to learning.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That was a little bit. Yeah.
I know it's a touchy subject and it's hard because you don't want to say the wrong thing and you don't want to offend people, but it's like regardless of what you say, you're probably going to offend somebody. So the only way you can avoid offending people is to just zip your mouth and say nothing. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So you're doing good.
Thank you. Okay, so when I have a YouTube channel, so how do you get subscribers to your YouTube channel, Rachel?
Have you listened to the podcast episode that I did with Sean Cannell?
No, not yet. I didn't listen to it.
Okay, so go back and listen to that one. I can't tell you what episode it is.
Yeah, okay, I know.
If you just search YouTube and then the She's Making an Impact podcast, you'll find it, or Sean Cannell and Rachel and Ngom, you'll find it, because he really breaks down a lot in there. So I would watch that or listen to it, however you want to consume that content. And then whatever questions you have from there, then we can support you. Because Lizzie can share with you, because we started our new channel. I mean, we're just consistently uploading content using SEO. There's quite a few things that you can do to be found by new people and to keep people. So listen to that episode and then we can chat about like specifically SEO, and SEO on YouTube is really similar to SEO on Pinterest and Google. So it's just a matter of SEO, and then thumbnails are a big thing. We could have an entire Activate call devoted to YouTube. Next month, October. I'm like, what month are we? October, we're going to be working on sales calls. So that'll be our main focus. And then maybe we'll do like a social media deep dive in November.
Okay.
Cool.
But did you arrange everything on your own at the very beginning? And as you grow, did you hire also with this?
So I took Sean Cannell's course years ago and I learned it all myself. I like knowing what is supposed to be happening. That way I can help whoever's on my team and support them with what they should be doing. So I did learn it. And so that's why I could teach you YouTube. I'm not like the YouTube expert, but we have like 400,000 views on our first channel, which ain't nothing. And we still get views from that first channel, even though it's like Pinterest. Like I haven't uploaded anything there in years. So that's one of the cool things. That's why I always recommend using a search engine platform and not just Facebook or Instagram, something like YouTube or a podcast or Pinterest and Google. That way, the content that you're creating, it's working for you years later and still helping you be seen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm really not so much interested in YouTube, Rachel.
Then don't do it. Yeah, like you don't have to be on YouTube. That's the thing. Like you don't have to be on any one platform. You just need to pick one and dive in and get good at that.
Yeah, or hire someone. I really don't want to teach anyone also about Pinterest or something. I really want to give this responsibility.
So you have access to Pin with Purpose. So whoever you hire to do your Pinterest for you, you can share Pin with Purpose with them and they can go through it.
Oh, okay. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay. All right. So these are my questions.
Amazing. I'm so happy you were very prepared. What was your biggest takeaway and what will you do to take massive action based on our discussion?
Oh, okay. I will think about very much more focused Facebook advertisement, Facebook ads for my webinars.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I just said, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so just focus on one thing and be really good at it also.
Yep.
Really nice. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Where can people connect with you?
Okay. If they have this condition or if they know anyone who lives with this condition, they can get my freebie from yeswecan.com/cure.
Amazing. Cool. Well, thanks, Patek, for being on. I'm so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished so far.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.